Chris Broussard saying he's going to win MVP this year. And I thought he was crumbling under that pressure. Now, bottom line to this story, that doctor then called me back about a month later and he said, well, and he took the party line. And he said, I am finding a little issue in there, and he called it tendinosis.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what is tendinosis? Well, he's got a little bit of inflammation in there somewhere, and it was hazy to me, and it wasn't convincing what he told me. It felt like he had been told by the people above him, make it clear to everybody on the outside he does have some kind of issue, because they were afraid he was going completely south, as in, I'm not going to play another game for you because you don't believe me.
Right.
So I'm seeing it all over again. They believed, Tony Parker believed, Manu Ginobili believed in the end, that he was just imagining the injury. I don't know if there's a difference between faking or imagining. I don't know. Maybe he believes in his head that he has something going wrong because he's crumbling under the pressure to win Game 3 and Game 4 at home when they're down 0-2. Could be. That's just my take.
What about
because the movement doesn't show me lower leg injury.
Okay, well, Skip, what about the pressure to win when they were down, when they had lost the second game going to Philly? What was the pressure? Why didn't he start letting
It wasn't the conference finals yet, yet.
But hold on. If they have the second best record, they had the second best record in all of basketball.
Okay, but remember, it was 1-1 after when they went to Philly.
Right.
And then it
was 2-1.
2-1, and then they won a game
exactly.
in Philly.
So why didn't he start limping when
because
it was 2-1?
The pressure had mounted. The pressure, when you're down 0-2 at going home, now the world had said, remember, the world hadn't yet proclaimed him the MVP of the playoffs until he hit the luckiest shot in the history of the world. Then everybody leaped on the bandwagon and say, aha, number 2 is winning it all. He is the new guy. He's the new LeBron James.
The thing is, Skip, this is what I know. After playing NFL football for 14 years, nobody knows your body like you know it. Now, I know what doctors, and they went to school. They did residencies, and they spent the better part of their life studying the body and knowing. But when they give you a diagnosis, and when they say they give you a prognosis, says you should be able to come back in 6 to 8, or 8 to 12, or 6 months, that's their best guess educated. That's their best educated guess. There's no guarantee, Skip. It might take me 9 months. It might take me a full year.
Okay.
So with that being said,
I can argue the other side of that, because you might be reading something in that's not there at all, because you don't know either. You can say, I don't know, but you don't know either.
But no. But I'm saying it's hard for me to believe in this situation, given the fact that, look, I just think it's you and maybe the Spurs that believe that Kawhi was not injured to the extent that he said he was.
Remember, most player-friendly basketball team in the world. They do nothing but say rest, rest, rest.
But Kawhi
until they finally said, no, it's time for you to play.
And Kawhi says, no, I know my body and I'm not feeling well. So he shut it down.
He wasn't feeling well when he got to Toronto this year. He sat 22 games this year.
Okay.
And I think it was on the injury report that he had a thigh issue going on. So we're right back to where we were.
Well, maybe, Skip, maybe it's something that's going to linger for the rest of his career.
Maybe.
Maybe he's fragile. Maybe he's going to have these lower leg injuries. He's going to have to somehow find a way to play through or play around.
Okay. So one of two things was happening the other night, because to my eye, watching my television, and maybe I need a new one, I saw explosion and lift that looked good as new to me. Then I would see limp down the court. And he did score 19 with 7 rebounds and 4 steals. You have to have some ability to push off to even get those numbers. So to my eye, I'm thinking, gee, I'm still seeing the old number 2. I'm seeing,
I see that.
Yeah, I was seeing it, because you can't put up those numbers if you are limping through the possession with the basketball, and I didn't see it.
Yes, Skip, we saw Isaiah have a historic fourth quarter on a bum ankle.
Okay, but he was playing this. I was there. I was in the front freaking row.
Yeah.
I was there. I wrote about it.
But Skip,
and it was as gutsy a performance, because he turned it completely over, because you could see it. I could see the replay. He turned it on its side. It looked like it could be broken. It could be ligament damage.
Yes.
Okay, so he sucked it up and just toughed it out. And I've had ankles, you've had ankles.
Yeah.
And you can, But you can just say, I'm going to do this.
Right.
And I think he got injected. I'm pretty sure he got a halftime injection.
Something.
And you can push through that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so one of two
I know
things.
about injections in ankles.
Well, I got it. So one of two things happened the other night. Either he's exaggerating his injury or he's one of the toughest men to ever come down the pipe.
I believe he's one of the toughest ones.
So he's just toughing it out.
Yep, and you know, adrenaline does amazing things to the body.
So now to the bigger picture again, if he is one of the toughest to ever play the game and he sucked it up and toughed it out, why wouldn't his coach gush about him after the game for his toughness of playing through pain? Because he gives him nothing. Right. And if you're trying to keep him in Toronto and the whole push of the whole city is, we need you, we want you, we'll do anything to keep you. All the restaurants are offering him lifetime passes. You can have free food here in any restaurant in town for the rest of your life if you will stay.
It ain't that good for me to make that kind of commitment.
Well, you're probably right about that. Although in your case, I don't know. You might think twice.
I mean, L.A. Toronto ain't got better food than L.A.
No.
We can give him.
Good food.
We can give him lifetime up in here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
We can go to Roscoe's. We can go to Serving Spoon. We can go wherever you want to go. Give him lifetime.
You know what? I think Toronto would have issue with what you just said.
Toronto will be okay.
It is an international city.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're international city too.
LA is not known for its cuisine. I got to tell you, it's not really. No.
Yeah, we're more known for our cuisine than Toronto. What's Toronto known for?
Well, I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know it that well, but
and
it's
that's what Kawhi said.
international.
Kawhi doesn't even know what it's.
Okay, but the point is, if you're Nick Nurse, the first-year head coach, shouldn't you be gushing about how hurt he is and how tough he is mentally?
Yeah,
because that's the only way to keep him.
He should. But being a first-year head coach, he doesn't understand the rules of this skill. You know how this thing works out. Even though you might not believe it that he's injured, you say all the right things. Man, that's a tough son of a gun.
Okay.
Woo,
you know what I'd do if I were the Toronto medical staff to keep him? I would list him every night as dying. He's dying, right? No, well, seriously. Well, you would, because you give him what he needs, what he wants.
He don't need anything.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Well, again, Danny Green.
He needs rest.
You used the quote yesterday, but I got it right here from Danny Green. And again, I know Danny very well.
Yeah.
And the reason he was included in that trade.
He's a good player.
He's a good player. He is a very good player, but he was the one Spur who was the closest to number 2.
Right. Sure.
He was the one Spur who could communicate directly and convincingly.
And he was the only one that didn't sell him out. Okay. Like Tony Parker and Manu. They sold him out.
Well, they called him out.
Sold him out.
They put him on the spot and he couldn't take the
Well, I should have put pause on him.
Okay.
Both of them.
He might be able to pull that off on one of them, but the other one, he would not be able to win that.
Oh, who? Manu?
Oh, he couldn't be.
Oh, you think Manu, because Manu swatted a bat out there and now all of a sudden he kung fu.
He'd swat number 2 right out of the air and take him outside and release him.
No.
That's what he would do.
That's hard. He from L.A. You know how them L.A. players do it.
So here's the Danny Green quote. And again, this didn't surprise me at all, but think how opposite this is from Nick Nurse and the Toronto medical staff. Danny Green says, of number 2, he's playing through pain. He can't even celebrate baskets because of how painful it is. You dunk on a guy like Giannis and you are worried about your knee. It shows you that he's fighting. We're going to need him to fight through the rest of the series.
That's not how Danny Green said that.
That's what he was saying.
Stop with dramatic effect.
We need him to fight through the pain.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Okay, I'm not so sure about
should Nick
that.
Nurse be ashamed of himself?
Yes. And as a matter of fact, it's only 1 year into his coaching career, and I'm already tired of Nick Nurse. I've had it up to here, Skip.
Really?
Yes, I've had it up to here with him. Because he's not a doctor. He's trying to diagnose. You just coach.
The Lowry thing did shift my opinion a little bit. Because why would you say so much about someone and so little
Because he
about
don't know any
yourself?
better. And plus, Skip, he has a relationship. How long has he been the assistant with Dwayne Casey?
Fair.
And Kyle Lowry's been there, so he probably has a different relationship than Kawhi.
I would agree.
But that's why Kawhi don't talk to him.
Well, remember, it's hard for any coach to have any relationship
we don't
with
want to
number
talk.
2.
Well, look, this is we're not an extemporaneous speaking class.
Okay.
I'm here to play basketball. Let Kawhi play basketball, and when he raises his hand and says, "Hey, coach, I'm hurt," he says, "Okay, you need a night off." But see, in the playoffs, you can't get a night off. He played 9 consecutive games in the That's the most. He's almost double that. He's going to double that, Skip.
So next year, when he's in the midst of missing 12 straight games, and they ask LeBron, because he's a new Laker, Like, what do you think of what's going on with number 2?
When he get back-
LeBron's going to say, don't ask me. I've never spoken a word to the guy.
Oh, yeah, LeBron speak to him all the time.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either, but that's neither here nor there. Look, Kawhi is injured, contrary to what you and Nick Nurse think.
And the Toronto doctors.
I don't care about them Toronto doctors.
You don't?
And I know they're well qualified, but Kawhi knows his body better than any doctor. They're his body, not their body.
Really? Well, all I know is that number 2 is 2 games away from hitting the open market, and I think he's going to hit it running.
Wow.
Yeah. Hold
Not
on.
limping. He's going to run.
Oh, so in other words, you said Milwaukee going to win it, huh?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and I'll give you this. Tonight is a legacy game for number 2. This is one where...
No, this is a legacy game for Giannis.
Well, either way, but I'm just saying, if this guy could tough it up, tough it out, gut through it on the road, if he comes up bigger than Giannis does again...
Skip, he can't. Giannis can't pull a James Harden.
Okay.
Lose game 5 on his home court and then go on the road and lose game 6 and be out because he's about, I believe he'll win the MVP. Now, you know, you and I have been going back and forth, and I know you thought like I thought.
Regular season.
And you don't want that on your resume in the regular season, and then you take that L and when you're up 2-0.
Okay.
I don't know. The Bucks haven't lost 3 in a row all season. So this is a team that, I mean, obviously home court advantage, but they're also pretty upset with Drake lately, guys.
I'm
the
upset
Bucks.
with him too.
The Bucks are picking fights with Drake, and his sideline behavior has been interesting. We'll discuss that next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We will be right back.